Warm-up is over. Let's go racing at Dover.
I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, here we go. The Mark Nelson and Daryl Klotz on the front row. Jess Chambers and Gerald Thanos Poole on the second. Derek Schilling and Kenny Passmore on the third row. Kevin Hayes and Kevin Bruner on the fourth row. Clinton Chambers, Gil Guanc. Round out your top 10. Richie Joplin starting in 11th, next to Warren Moore in 12th. Jerry Bergeron in 13th. Mike Burgess in 14th. Tim St. Jean coming off that big win at Talladega last week, starts in 15th. Rod Potgieter in 16th. John Saunders in 17th. Jeff Oakes 18th. James Lacey in 19th. And Jim Wardlow in 20th. Chuck Sweeting, John Shermotz, and Thomas Byram round out the 23 car field here at the Monster Mile. All the drivers getting up on track. 1 mile oval. "24 degrees of banking in the turns, 9 degrees of banking on the straightaways. Concrete, very abrasive track will eat the tires alive. Track temperature now at 116 degrees. So even hotter, even slicker. Out of turn 4, Mark Nelson leads them around. Green flag is in the air. We are down and away at Dover. Mark quickly clearing traffic. Remember, cold tires, the driver's talking about how loose the car is out here tonight. Everybody makes it down into 3 and 4, and Mark Nelson leads lap 1. Rod Potgieter on the attack up top, up 2 spots into 14th. Jeff Oakes starting to move forward on the high side as well, up 2 spots into 16th. Jess Chambers in second is pulled away from Derek Schilling. Derek now 2 spots into third. Daryl Klotz back into fourth. Gerald Thanos Poole holds in the top 5. Gerald debuted that new Navy Joe Coffee Company car last week at Talladega. It has definitely been a fast car. I think he's using Navy Joe coffee to fuel it. That would make it substantially faster. Make sure you check out Navy Joe Coffee. It is a veteran-owned company. And they make some great coffee. Use code Navy Joe to save yourself 10%. And tell them you heard about them here. Kevin Hayes now up into 6th place. On the move, Jeff Oakes continues his march. Now 4 spots into 14th. We saw at the end of the last season, the battle. Oakes really came on strong the second half of the season and was battling for the championship going into Phoenix. It all went downhill after that. But keep an eye on Oaks. If he lights up earlier in the season, he may be unstoppable. Mark Nelson, Jess Chambers still out front. Derek Schilling is closing back in. Darrell Klotz in fourth. Gerald Thanos Poole in fifth. Kevin Hayes rolls in sixth. Kenny Passmore, Clinton Chambers, Richie Joplin now up to ninth. Gil Guak in 10th. I have to think you're right. That 9-car driven by Gerald Poole, fueled by JP5 Coffee. Ironically, so is this broadcaster. Mike Burgess now up to 13th. Oaks right on his bumper. Potgieter right behind as well. Richie Joplin making the move into 8th. Opens the door. Gil Guak was able to slip by Clinton Chambers. Behind Richie Joplin, now Richie up into 8th. Jeff Oaks still on the attack, has now come by Mike Burgess, setting his sights on Kevin Bruner. Bruner struggling here just a little bit in the early going, has gone from 8th back to 12th. But this line of cars, led by Richie Joplin and Gil Guak, all those positions could change very quickly. Drivers do have to make a fuel stop somewhere between, they can go 45 to 50 laps on a tank of fuel. I would suspect if we stay green to see a lot of these cars in between lap 38 and 42. Richie Joplin now in 8th, closing the gap on Kevin Hayes. Jerry Bergeron has cracked into the top 10, trying to run down Gil Guak in 9th. Mark Nelson's lead now almost a second over Derek Schilling. Jess Chambers now back to 3rd, Klotz in 4th. Kenny Passmore has gotten by Thanos to take 5th. Gerald in 6th. Kevin Hayes in 7th. Richie Joplin continuing to reel him in, and Mike Burgess is on pit road. No damage that we can see to the car, and he cannot go the distance from here. This is an unexpected pit stop for Burgess. Jerry Bergeron losing some ground as Jeff Oaks looks underneath. Oaks trying to get into the top 10. Gil Guak just ahead in 9th. Jeff Oaks started back in 18th. So far the biggest mover of the night. Lap time starting to fall. Mark Nelson's fastest lap at 24.07. Last time by 25.15. They have lost over a second a lap. And that time will continue to drop dramatically. 3 wide off into 3. Whoa! Jeff Oakes, Jerry Bergeron battling it out side by side. Gil Guac in the middle, wisely letting out of it. Let's take a look at this move. Jeff Oakes shoots to the bottom as they head off into 1. Bergeron up to the top. Oakes ends up in the middle. Oakes clears up into 10th. Bergeron into 9th. Gil Guac has continued to lose some ground after being stuck in the middle of that 3 wide. He is now back into 13th. Chuck Sweeting also on the move. Chuck was one of the last to enter the session, did not get any on-track time. Started in 21st, now up into 11th. Derek Schilling in second, now 2 seconds behind the Mark Nelson. Mark is just pulling away from the field. Well, tonight is our last race of the week. We'll be back Sunday morning, 11 Eastern. GT3 NSS will be back, and if you miss that race on Sunday, or the first ever GT3 NSS race in the rain, that was definitely an exciting morning. You can find it on our YouTube channel. Sunday night BRR recruitment continues if you're looking for a fun, respectful league that's all about the friendships. Caution! Our first caution of the night, lap 25. See if we can see what happened here. Kenny Passmore side by side. Oh, Chambers just bounces off the wall. Collects Passmore and pushes them both down the front straightaway. Both drivers continue going, but they are going to have significant damage to both cars. Should expect to see everybody on pit road this time. However, they cannot go the distance from here on fuel. Remember, 45 to 50 laps on a tank. They are about 5 laps short at the moment. Kenny Passmore staying out for the moment. Looks like minimal damage to the front end of that car. Looks like Mike Burgess is officially out of the race. Thomas Byram did not take the grid. And Kenny Passmore still is not. Now he's going to come in. Jim Wardlow has not been to pit road yet either. At the moment, Kevin Hayes trying to position himself to get waved past the pace car and get back to the lead lap. Jess Chambers coming back out. There is damage to that car. Worth reminding everybody that these guys do not have a fast repair available. Jim Wardlow has not pitted. Old tires on the restart here could be catastrophic. I was thinking Wardlow might come in this time, but apparently he is not. Jim has got to be hoping for a quickie caution here to come back in. Everybody behind him is on 4 fresh tires and fuel. Darrell Claw's on his way back out. Looks like he may have had a little bit of damage. They stack back up for the restart. And you know what's always fun to do on the restart, folks? Seems like a really good time for me to stop talking, you guys to crank up the volume. Let's hear all the horsepower these engines have to give. We're going to go silent and crank it up at home. Pace car is in. Once the green drops, it'll be crank it up time. Into the restart zone. Green flag is in the air. Crank it up, folks. Several cars on pit road. Mark Nelson, Derek Schilling, and Jim Wardlow. It looks like there's a problem on the restart. Let's see what happened. Jim Wardlow there on the high side. Old tires, he gets on the power and it just turns the car. And because he went to the high side, the cars behind got black flagged for passing before the start-finish line. Kevin Hayes back behind all of this, saw the accordion almost got it checked up, but when he gets back on the power, the car just snaps right on him. Jim Wardlow, Mark Nelson, Derek Schilling, all getting penalties, all having to go to pit road to serve them. So Jeff Oakes has taken the lead. Chuck Sweeting now to second. Jerry Berger into third. Gil Gualk in fourth. Gerald Poole up to fifth. Tim St. Jean now in sixth. Richie Joplin in seventh. Kevin Bruner in eighth. Rod Podgeter in ninth. And Warren Moore in 10th. Boom indeed. Those three drivers that got penalties, they are going to be several laps down. They're going to have to hope for multiple cautions to get the opportunity to get back to the lead lap. The only advantage they have, if this stays green, if they took 4 tires and fuel while they were on pit road, they might actually come out of it okay when the rest of the field hits pit road. Right now, Jeff Oakes has an 0.8 of a second lead. However, Chuck Sweeting up 19 spots into second is closing that gap quickly. Former champ Jerry Bergeron currently runs in third, Gil Gualk in fourth, and Gerald Thanos Poole runs in fifth. Tim St. Jean sitting back in sixth after that win at Talladega, got his season off to a great start. Looking to crack into the top 5, maybe even a podium here tonight, as he is reeling in Thanos. Richie Joplin in his first Xfinity race with Home Motorsports, currently up 4 spots into 7th, but has Bruner on the bumper. Mark Nelson, one of the cars that got penalized on the restart, obviously took 4 tires while he was on pit road. He is closing, coming back around. The car's ahead of him, trying to reclaim one of his 3 laps. Jeff Oakes' lead continuing to shrink. Chuck Sweeting on the attack. Jerry Bergeron back in third, has some breathing room back to Gil Gualk and Gerald Poole. Tim St. Jean closing in. Richie Joplin, Mark Nelson side by side. Mark goes back by. Kevin Bruner back in 8th. Rod Podgeter now in 9th. Warren Moore in 10th. Whoa! Podgeter a little squirrely out of 4. John Shermont's also on the move. Shermont's now up 10 spots into 12th, having just cleared James Lacey. Kenny Passmore was caught up in the incident that brought the caution out earlier, is currently in 14th, trying to fight his way back, looking on the high side on Lacey. Derek Schilling looking underneath, one of the drivers that went to pit road for the penalty. He's starting to cut his way back through the field. Jim Wardlow is still on pit road. Chuck Sweeting has now caught the leader, Jeff Oakes. That will give Jerry Bergeron an opportunity to reel him in. Gil Guac, Gerald Poole, nose to tail. Tim St. Jean not far behind in the Tim Hortons car. Maybe the donuts are just trying to catch up to the Navy Joe coffee. They're kind of meant to be together. Rod Potgieter sitting in 9th is starting to reel in. 8th place, Kevin Bruner. Gerald Poole got a run through 3 and 4, now up into 4th place. 1.5 seconds out of 3rd. Mark Nelson, meanwhile, well on his way to recovering one of his laps, as is Derek Schilling. Schilling currently in 18th, Mark Nelson in 19th. Both of them took tires when they went to pit road, both of them on the march. Kevin Hayes is officially out of the race, as is Mike Burgess. Jim Wardlow still sits on pit road. As we've got a battle for the lead, Chuck Sweeting drops to the bottom. Jeff Oakes just lets him go. No sense battling at the moment. And Chuck Sweeting goes to the lead for the first time tonight. I do believe that was Chuck Sweeting's first lap led this season. And Gerald Poole has reeled in Jerry Bergeron from 1.5 seconds back in the blink of an eye. Thanos definitely on the march tonight. Gil Guac has cracked back into the top 5. Out of turn 4, Gerald got a huge run despite having to hold it down to the bottom. But while they are battling, Gil Guac is closing in. That will allow Tim St. Jean and Richie Joplin to close in as well. Warren Moore starting to make some ground up, as is Kenny Passmore. Warren in 11th, Kenny in 12th. They are closing in on Jess Chambers in 10th. Rod Potgieter back in 9th is starting to close the gap on Bruner as well. Clinton Chambers has gone to pit road. Now the question now becomes, some of these drivers will still need at least a splash of gas. Remember, when they pitted, they were about 5 laps short. Clinton Chambers took 4 tires and fuel. He is rolling out. Rod Potgieter in. Pit stops have begun. However, we do know Derek Schilling and Mark Nelson do not need a pit stop. Jess Chambers now on pit road. The leader, Chuck Sweeting, now in heavy lap traffic. Jeff Oakes in second. Gerald Poole back in third. This is his opportunity to gain some ground. Jerry Bergeron in fourth. Now has Gil Guac right on the bumper. Jeff Oakes is on pit road. He gives up second. "20 laps to go." John Shermott's also on pit road. Chuck Sweeting continuing to stay out. Prior to pit stops, the only two drivers we knew could go the distance were Derek Schilling, who has now made his way up to 13th, and Mark Nelson, who is still stuck back in 18th. However, Mark is starting to gain some ground on the drivers ahead. If you missed out on last season's home motorsports races, don't forget you can check them out on our YouTube channel. Gerald Poole, Jerry Bergeron, Warren Moore, Darrell Klotz, John Saunders, all on pit road. Plus, you can check out our YouTube channel and see a lot of great trucking and other gaming videos. A lot of good shorts out there and a lot more coming over the next few days. Jeff Oakes is currently the highest running car who has completed pit stops. He is currently in 8th place. The drivers ahead are losing time at the moment on the old tires. Last time by, Chuck Sweeting ran a 25.74. Jeff Oakes exactly 1 second faster. Gil Guac now in second. Tim St. Jean in third. Richie Joplin in fourth. Kevin Bruner in fifth. Kenny Passmore in sixth. James Lacey in... Whoa! Holy cow, what a move! Clinton Chambers is just cutting through this field, as is Jess Chambers. Warren Moore has had his pit stop. And it looks like Warren may have gotten a penalty. He is back on pit road. 10 laps to go for Chuck Sweeting. Does he know something we don't? Did this top 6 find a way to conserve enough fuel to go the distance? Tim St. Jean has not been in. Richie Joplin has not been in. Gil Gwant, Kevin Bruner, Kenny Passmore all have not been to pit road. Jeff Oaks on fresh tires up to 7th. Derek Schilling, what a comeback. Schilling now up into 9th. Gerald Poole already back into the top 10. Jess Chambers now up into 12th, running down Jerry Bergeron. We saw it gutsy 3 wide up the middle pass by Jess a few moments ago. See if we can find that pass. Jess was on fresher tires than the rest of them at that point. Clinton Chambers has had a problem and towed to pit road. Clinton was on fresh tires. Out of turn 4. Looks like he gets a bump from Oaks. Looking down from the blimp to see if there was contact. Jeff Oaks comes out of that. Oh, yeah, Oaks had just full send out of the corner. Chambers just did not have the speed on exit. My apologies, that was not Jeff Oaks. That was John Shermont that got into him. Chuck Sweeting still in the lead, coming to 3 to go. Sweeting is slow up top. He has a 21-second lead over St. Jean. Richie back in 3rd. And how much is he conserving? 2 laps to go for Chuck Sweeting. Chuck is definitely coasting it through the turns. Out of turn 4, white flag is in the air. One more time around for Chuck Sweeting. Can he stretch the fuel to the end? Out of turn 2, down the back straightaway. He has made the fuel last, made the car last, and pulls it off. Out of turn 4, Chuck Sweeting wins at Dover. Tim St. Jean trying to limp it back for 2nd. Richie Joplin coming around to take 3rd. Wow. The top 4 did not pit. Jeff Oaks was the highest running car. They completed the pit stop. Jeff in 6th. Gil Guanc in 7th. James Lacey 7th. Gerald Poole 8th. Jerry Bergeron 9th. Derek Schilling comes back to finish 10th. And let's talk to our top 3, starting with Richie Joplin. Well, Richie, you're first time here, and you pull off a podium, buddy. Push to talk, Richie. You got me, Richie? All right, we'll try and get Richie again here in a minute. Actually, looks like Chuck Sweeting, our winner, and Tim St. Jean. And there's Tim. We'll get a word with Tim, and then we'll see if we can get a hold of Richie and Chuck. Tim, man, I have to ask, how did you do it? Did not think you guys could go that far on fuel. Tim, you got me? Hey, Kevin, you got me?
Yeah, go ahead, Doug. I think Tim's in here too.
Yeah.
Tim was talking on iRacing.
Oh, I got him, but there he is.
Yeah, sorry, wrong button.
That's all right. I have to ask, man, how did you guys pull off that fuel run?
Well, I was saving a lot of fuel on the early start of it, though. I kind of figured it was going to go green the rest of the way, so I started lifting a little earlier, going into the corner, and not coming on to the gas so soon coming out.
Well, it definitely worked. I think you guys caught quite a bit of the field by surprise on that one, and it definitely paid off there at the end.
Well, I ran out of fuel coming down the pit road.
I
had the opposite approach there, Doug. I went hard, and just by burning my tires at the end, I was saving fuel because I just couldn't gas on it.
Well, I guess whatever works. I mean, you both end up with a top 5 finish, so you got to be happy that the strategy worked out either way you went at it.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with the result. I didn't think I was going to make it the rest of the way, and I kept watching my fuel going down. I thought, well, yeah, I got one lap. Awesome.
Well, man, you started the new season off with a win at Talladega, a second place here at Dover. You're definitely on your way to a great season, Tim. Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks, Doug. I hope you enjoyed the show.
Oh, we definitely did.
Great job, Tim.
Kevin, I have to ask, man, that got a little bit wild, and there was an incident on one of those restarts that obviously problematic, but one of those situations that does from time to time happen and put several drivers on pit road with a penalty.
Yeah, that's a tough call. I know guys that message saying, "Oh, can I get a black flag cleared?" And that's one of our golden rules. We do not clear black flags because if you clear one, you're clearing them for everything. And I hung back. I was on the outside. I gotta ask Jim what he was thinking, why he stayed out. I don't think he realized what 20 laps on tires can do to you here. And he gassed up and he got run over, and I was just glad I hung back. And I think 2 or 3 cars on the inside all got black flags.
Well, it definitely did not go the way for a few drivers that ended up with penalties, but man, a great charge there at the end and a great strategy move tonight. Congratulations.
I appreciate that. I'll take it. I needed a good top 5, so I'll take it. That's the first time it paid off. I gotta say again, Jeff Oakes knows what I'm doing all the time, and I think he plans to get just enough of a lead so that he can pit on me and catch me. And I think I beat him this time by 2 seconds. So my strategy worked for me against him, anyways.
Well, if it pays off in that way, even better, man. Great job tonight.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thanks, Doug.
We will see if we can get a quick word with third place Richie Joplin. Does not look like we are going to be able to talk to our winner, but Richie, it's Doug. You got me? Looks like he is still having some difficulties. Well, folks, we're going to hop off of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget the HTSAI Community Convoy will be live in just a few moments. Go join Angie. Go do a little trucking. At least stop by and tell her hello. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope y'all had as much fun as we did. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. Have a great night, everybody.